Okay, so I'm here with Kim Garner. I almost messed up and called her a donor. No, not the case. You are a recipient, and this is the masterpiece that you created. First off, Kim, some people, they probably know your last name.
Garner, Garner, no D. I'm the wife of Rodney Garner. He's a D-line coach and associate head coach at Auburn University, War Eagle.
And that's where this comes in. Okay, so let's talk about your story, being a recipient and the painting.
Freak accident. In November 12th, 2017, I managed to split my eye open from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock and had to come to Callahan Eye Hospital for a repair. They repaired it, and then a few weeks later, Doctors Parker and Morris from the Callahan Eye Hospital managed to, with Advancing Sight Network and the gift of a donor, do a cornea transplant to restore my sight, because when the accident actually happened, it was as if you took a still picture of what I was looking at. All the colors start to run together, kind of like paint. Everything turned to gray and black, and my sight was gone for several weeks.
And Kim, you said you've given birth to 5 kids, but this was the worst pain.
More painful than pushing out 5 kids. 1 was breech. This was way more painful. But the beautiful part of it is that I also graduated from the Alabama School of Fine Arts here in Birmingham, and majored in visual art, but I was never ever good at abstract art. And one thing that came out of this was a different way to look at things and express myself through the art. And this is kind of an intersection of my life. I mean, everything in our house is either about art or football. I mean, we just dissect it down to art and football. So this is one of a series of 3, chaos, disruption, and pressure, which are the things that I hope my defense causes out there on the field. And this one, this is the first one in the series. It happens to be called Chaos. And even though my husband says I should never say this, the most important guys out there on the field are my 6. So that's the front 4, and in short yardage situations, there's 2 spares up there ready to come in. And anyway, it's kind of an intersection, like I said, of the art and the football and what it means to our lives. And just at that moment with this whole eye accident, it was just chaotic.
Kim, what do you want to say about this process and how everything fits in? What do you want people to know about the donor-recipient process and literally the gift of sight?
How important organ donation is. If it had not been for the selfless gift of 2 organ donors, because I actually am the recipient of 2 cornea transplants, and the Advancing Sight Network, I would not have my sight in my left eye. There's actually still stitches in there 2 years post-op, but as of about 3 weeks ago, my last appointment with glasses and with contacts, I'm blessed with 20/20 vision again. But 20/20 vision and a new way to express myself with the art.
Got it. Kim, hey, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you for allowing us to share your story. And you are a recipient, not a donor.
Yes.
And when we come back, we're going to be in the lab, and we're going to actually talk about the donation process. We'll be back. So it was the Alabama Eye Bank. Now, they go by a different name, Advancing Sight Network, but the mission is still the same. We're talking with Dr. Greg Grossman. We are in the biobank right now, and you have like a real eye in your hand.
Right. Yeah, thank you. So luckily, we get donated eyes, and some of those eyes we use for surgical transplantation, but other eyes we use in research projects to study blinding eye disorders, which there are many. So globally, there are over 40 million with blindness, many with incurable conditions today, which we hope research will solve in the near future.
And you're holding an eye model right here. Explain how these kind of work together and how you fit into the picture.
Right. So this is a model of the eye, and I just like to point out the back of the eye. So this is the front with the cornea, and then going back to the eye where the retina is located. And many diseases affect the back of the eye, such as age-related macular degeneration. And here in Alabama, there are over 30,000 people who are affected by AMD. And currently, there's no cure for AMD and limited effective therapy. So I have an aunt who's about 87 years old, and unfortunately, she has AMD, and It requires injections on a monthly basis.
Into the eye?
Into the eye. So we have many partners we work with. We are blessed with some amazing people here at University of Alabama, Birmingham, but also at places like Harvard, Cleveland Clinic, and pharmaceuticals around the world who we partner with that we can help to establish new therapies and cures.
Got it. Okay, Greg, we have 30 seconds to explain what all happens in the biobank. Go.
Okay, here we go. So through the generosity of people who sign up with the state registry, we can take your eye samples once you pass, and we can collect them, we can store them, and we can distribute them for research projects who are needing that eye tissue to help develop the next therapy. And here at the biobank, we have equipment like this minus 80-degree freezer where we could store this tissue for long term, up to decades, so it gets to the right study so the cure can happen.
Got it. And so the cure can happen when we come back. We're going to be in the lab, but right now, we're going to break. See you in a bit. Okay, so we are at Advancing Eye Network, and before you guys were the Alabama Eye Bank.
Correct.
The name has changed. So what we're looking at right now, we're talking about corneas that have been donated. I'm here with Cal Maven. We're going to talk about the entire process.
Yeah, so after we speak with the family and get authorization, we go ahead and head to the hospitals to do the actual surgical recovery. Recover the tissue, we bring it back here to Advancing Sight Network, and that's where the process begins. We begin to process the tissue, get it ready to hand it off to the surgeon, Dr. Hall, to do the transplant themselves.
And this is a rather new facility that we're in right now. This is the lab area. We've sort of had a tour of Advancing Sight Network. That is what's called a clean room.
Correct, yeah. So this is our new clean room. We're really excited to have it. It actually has doubled our space, and we're able to now go in and do multiple processing at the same time to then, again, just a higher quality of tissue that we're able to provide to our surgeons.
Gal, you've been doing this for years. How has this affected you?
It's been amazing. I've had the opportunity to pretty much hold every role in eye banking, from recovery to placements to actually talking to the family. It just really gives me a real keen of, I don't know how to describe it. It's just you get an opportunity to meet the families and recipients like Kim, and meeting donor families and seeing them come together and meet for the first time. It's amazing. It's definitely worth the job that I do.
And Cal, speaking of donor families, how does that process actually work, and how can people get involved?
Yeah, great question. So first thing is when you go to renew your license here in the state of Alabama, you can sign up to be an organ donor, and that will put you into the donor registry. The second most important thing, if you're going to do that, to let your friends and family know so that you have made that decision. So if you do pass, family know that you're in that registry and they're going to support your decision. And just continue to just be mindful of what's going on around you, especially here in Advancing Sight Network. We're a non-for-profit organization, so if you don't want to donate, some people just can't handle that, you financially donate to us. We're always seeking funding to continue to help, like this project here behind us of the processing room.
And Cal, as we wrap up, like 15 seconds, can you sum up the difference that this literally makes in people's lives?
Once I was blind, now I can see. It's pretty amazing. People like Kim had mentioned that they go through a traumatic situation and they get to see at the end of the day.
Wow. Cal, thank you so much. Thanks for allowing us to have shared the story. And you guys heard it, sign up to be a donor or let your family members know. Or if you don't want to do that, of course, you can do the financial donation. At the Advancing Sight Network, I'm Makari Savage for Good Day Extra. We'll be right back.